through 5 miscarriages before we turned to IVF. We went through 3 cycles of IVF. I have 2 beautiful children as a result of it. We depleted our entire life savings. Each cycle was not covered at the time. It's $30,000. And it was important enough for us. Now, we did do frozen embryos, but because we are Catholic, we knew that we couldn't destroy the embryos because they are, in our view, children. And we couldn't just give them up for research because, in our view, they were children. And so we were, I feel, responsible in the sense that we used every single embryo. And if every single embryo became a child, then we were going to take care of that child. And we don't have any frozen embryos left, thank God. Because I would probably have a baby.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
That was Sonny Hostin on The View speaking out in support of an Alabama judicial decision that establishes, at least for the state of Alabama, in criminal law and civil law purposes, that fertilized eggs through the IVF process, for people that have trouble conceiving naturally, are actual human beings, and that said destruction is a crime. So physicians, people in the medical industry, parents seeking the process could face criminal prosecution and imprisonment for this, and the end result is that IVF simply won't be available to the good citizens of Alabama. And these are people that want to have families. And it's insane. It shows you how Republicans get so many things so very wrong when they allow Christofascism or theology to impact decision-making process. This opinion actually cited the Bible, and it's insane, especially when you look at that Republicans are so quick to condemn the Sharia law that exists in most of the Islamist world, and its subjugation of women, and its subjugation of non-Muslims, and all of these issues, right? But yet they embrace it when it's tied to their own religious views. And it's absolutely obscene. And I think that Sonny Hostin, a very intelligent woman, but she is being infected by letting her religious beliefs push her to support policies that oppress others. And it's absolutely insane. Alabama got it wrong, and this Republican nonsense is why, after 2 years of a crap job Biden was doing, this big red wave turned into a red trickle because Republicans are too damn busy telling women what they should do with their own bodies.
Sonny Hostin spoke about a real troubling time in her marriage with her husband and their attempt to have a family. And she spoke about how long it took them to do that and what they had to go through. But she spoke from her heart that she believed that once those eggs were fertilized and those embryos are there, that they are life. And so the Alabama court ruled that the embryos are life. The eggs are fertilized, they're now life. I too believe that once life has been conceived, it is life. We cannot say, oh, it's life in a week. It's life in 2 months. It's life in 1 month. But it's not life in 5 weeks. It's not life in 6 weeks. It's not life in 1 week. We can't have it both ways, Charles. And I believe that there's a better way. Once you have eggs like that are stored up, that are fertilized, you don't have to destroy them. You don't have to donate them to science. I understand that. But you don't have to destroy them either, because when you do that, you are taking away life.
Most doctors and most scientists say that post-viability is when life is created, right? And while I personally, I disagree to some extent, right? I have a personal problem with abortion, right? But I don't think that my personal religious beliefs should ever be imposed on other people to the point that it controls them of individual liberty, right? Now, it's different. I don't think people should be able to kill other people or assault other people or commit crimes against third parties. But science says that life is post-viability, and religion says
some scientists say that.
The overwhelming majority
Not all,
of science,
Charles.
the overwhelming majority.
For some doctors say no.
The reality
it's
is
once conception takes place.
The reality is the overwhelming majority, and those people that say it's at conception typically are basing that on religion and not science. And the truth is,
I think you may be wrong,
the truth is, I'm absolutely not wrong. There's no thinking about it. Do some research.
Life
but the
is
truth
life,
is,
Charles.
Okay, I get that's your religious belief.
You don't need research to know that life is
that
life
is your
once at
religious
conception.
belief.
At the point of
But the
conception,
truth
Charles,
is,
life is life.
The truth is, if the Republican Party wants to encourage more Americans to have babies as opposed to looking to developing world nations and having an open border to raise the population, if the Republican Party wants more Americans having babies, maybe we should make it easier, not harder, for Americans to have babies. And this Alabama decision, the only thing it means is that IVF will be
And Charles,
unaccessible
maybe we
to
should
Alabamans.
tell women, do a better job of who you choose to lay down with.
I know, it's always,
stop laying down with men
love
that are
when
unworthy of you.
your
Stop laying down with
Islamist-driven
men that
misogyny
don't want to produce
raises its head.
that child with you.
It's all the women's
And stop
fault.
having sex with irresponsible men.
Okay, so
men can be told the same thing.
Okay.
Stop having sex with irresponsible women.
So if a woman-
irresponsible behavior
life begins-
should not be put upon the taxpayers to pay for those
how
expenses.
are taxpayers paying for it?
You just said pay for the daycare, make it easier. Make it easier how?
Oh, you don't want a better educational and provision.
Education should be free.
Because here's the thing.
Education should be
Republicans
free.
care about babies until they're born, right? You care about babies until they're born. You talk
No.
about so if a woman,
Charles,
if
education
a
should
young
be free
black
in
girl,
America.
if a young black girl is raped, should she be forced to have that baby?
I agree in that,
Well,
in
it's
that
a
case
life.
with abortion.
It's a life.
Wait 1 second.
It's a life.
Wait 1 second.
How about incest?
No, that was
It's a life.
That's destroying 2 lives.
Okay.
When you rape that woman and she conceived, you're destroying her life and you're destroying the fruit of her womb to have an innocent, productive, loving relationship with its mother and how it was conceived.
Well, she could give it up for adoption.
She could do that.
Okay, but
and
don't
guess
you-
what? I'd have no problem with that.
Don't
If she
you
wants to give it
think-
for adoption, go ahead.
Don't you think
if she wants abortion for
that instead
incest
of telling
or rape,
women
I have no
what
objection
they
to
can
that.
do with their bodies, instead of making it possible for families that can't conceive naturally to get IVF, how about we find other collectivist
We can do all of that, Charles,
solutions
without destroying embryos.
Okay, how about what do you mean we can do all? They're not going to. The doctors in
Charles,
Alabama said we're shutting the
we
clinics.
can
It's not
do
going to
better
happen.
on
It's
both
Christo-fascist craziness.
But we can
if
do better
our
on
government,
both ends,
especially
Charles.
conservatives, want to make women more likely to have babies, help women have babies.
Charles,
damn it.
but let's help women
Damn
make better
misogynist.
choices about men they laying
Oh,
down
God, it's
with,
all,
where they don't need to have
It's the
abortions.
women's fault if it ain't Whitey's
No,
fault.
it's both of them
Come
fault.
on,
He can
come
use
on.
a condom and she can use
Come
protection.
on.
He can use a condom, she can use protection.
Okay.